A cartoon illustrates what happens so often at Christmas. It shows a little girl holding her baby brother in her lap and telling him the story of Christmas. Here's how her account read. Jesus was born just in time for Christmas, up at the North Pole, surrounded by tiny reindeer and the Virgin Mary. Then Santa Claus showed up with lots of toys and stuff and some swaddling clothes. The three wise men and elves all sang carols while the little drummer boy and Scrooge helped Joseph trim the tree. In the meantime, Frosty the Snowman saw a star. It's easy to see how she could be confused. So many secular trappings surround the celebration of Christ's birth, so that we could easily lose track of the real meaning of this wonderful season. Reminds me of an incident that occurred in San Antonio. It was a 99-degree day in September when a 10-month-old baby girl was accidentally locked inside the parked car by her aunt. Frantically, the mother and the aunt ran around the car in near hysteria, while a neighbor attempted to unlock the car with a clothes hanger. Soon, the infant was in great distress. It had become a matter of life and death when Fred Areola, a tow truck driver, arrived on the scene. He grabbed a hammer and smashed the back window of the car and set the baby free. Was he heralded as a hero? Fred said, "The lady was mad because I broke the window." I just thought, what is more important, the baby or the window? A good question for all of us. What's more important, the baby or the celebration? We don't know what to do with the baby anymore. Every December, schools make preparations to celebrate winter festivals, pale attempts to celebrate Christmas without any mention of God or Jesus Christ. We understand, but it's frustrating not to be able to let people know that the baby is the reason for the celebration. Now, one year, Candy Chan and her husband attended a winter festival at their son's school. Nicholas was in kindergarten. The little ones were going to perform the obligatory songs about snow and Santa and candy canes. Nicholas's group began with the song Christmas Love. As they sang, each child held up a letter to spell out the title of the song. But a little girl in the middle of the front row got confused and held her letter upside down. She had the M in Christmas. Instead of Christmas love, the upside down M changed the message to Christ was love. And it's true. Christ was love. This is the message of Christmas. We need to state it in the present tense, though. Christ is love. We sing, "Love was born at Christmas," and we know this is what Christmas is all about. Ron Mell tells the story of a grandfather who was trying to comfort his little grandson Jeffy. Jeffy had done something wrong, and his punishment was timeout in the playpen. But Jeffy's cries and begs to his grandpa to get him out. And Grandpa knew that Jeffy's punishment was just, but his love for the boy wouldn't allow him to watch the child suffer. So Grandpa chose to be both just and loving. He climbed into the playpen with Jeffy. In that way, he could share his grandson's punishment and at the same time provide him with comfort. Christmas is about love. From the very beginning, it has been so. God saw his children's plight, and God crawled into the playpen of our existence. To have the spirit of Christmas is to have the spirit of love. Every once in a while, we hear about someone who has been touched by the spirit of Christmas love, and it does renew our hope. Once there was an old man in a small town, an ill-tempered recluse who avoided his neighbors at all costs. Most people had given up on him, leaving him to his own self-imposed loneliness. But every once in a while, love steps in and turns a situation upside down. So one Thanksgiving season, the youth group from a small West Virginia church decided to do a good deed for this cranky, unfriendly old man. The old man had been injured in a farming accident, facing a harsh winter with dwindling supplies of firewood. The kids decided to cut enough firewood to fill the man's wood bins for the winter. They gathered in the woods that night, their pickup trucks brimming over with firewood, and just as they were placing the last few logs in the wood bin, the old man suddenly jerked open his front door, his shotgun aimed into the night. "Don't shoot us," said the youth leader. "We just came to help you with your wood." The old man looked at his overflowing wood bins and growled, "I don't need any help. Get out of here." Later, the kids discussed their act of kindness gone wrong with the youth leader. Why would God ask them to do good works for those who didn't even appreciate it? A few weeks later, at Christmas Eve service, the whole congregation noticed when the cranky old man walked in the door. During the prayer time, the pastor asked if anyone had some Thanksgiving to share. The old man stood and began, "A little over a month ago, I ran a group of kids off my property." His voice faded as his eyes overflowed with tears. The love of Jesus had broken through that old man's defenses. That's what Christmas is about. Love. We all know it's true. From the heart of the Creator straight into our lives. And it's all wrapped up in a tiny babe surrounded by his mother Mary and his father Joseph and the cattle and the sheep and the shepherds and later wise men, and above them lingers a star. Angels sing in the heavens, and for one glorious night we see a glimpse of why this world was created. Created for love. We live in a God-invaded world. Because we could not go to him, he came to us. And because God came to us, everything is forever changed. That's why we're here. The great truth we celebrate, Christ is love. Love of the Creator for the creation. Love of the Father for his children. As we return to our homes, may the love of Christmas go with us and remain with us. Thanks be to God. Amen.